Hello, good afternoon. This is News Today. I am Emefa Akosiadati. Coming up today in the bulletin, pressure is building on President Mahama to relieve Communications Minister Sam George of his duties over his failure to deliver a promised 30% reduction in DSTV package prices. With the minority in Parliament joining the chorus of critics, we'll hear views from section of the public about this developing story.
We deem him unfit to continue as the Minister for this strategic ministry of communication, digital technology and innovation, and therefore call on him to resign or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
This afternoon, election 2028 cannot be gambled on weak leadership and disunity. That's according to Ashanti NPP youth organizers. And as well, food supply to Kwasa SHTS found in unused toilet cubicles. We have details as the matron for the school justifies decision as motivation for unpaid national service staff. And as well, in the bulletin, charge to roll out new social media rules to curb rising student misconduct. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Joy News, independent, fearless, and credible. Please stay for details. We appreciate your company this afternoon. First in the news, pressure is building on President Mahama to relieve Communications Minister Sam George of his duties over his failure to deliver a promised 30% reduction in DSTV package prices. The minister's inability to deliver on his promise has sparked widespread criticisms, with many questioning his approach to negotiations with multi-choice, the operators of DSTV. Now, the minority in Parliament has joined the chorus of critics expressing disappointment with the minister's handling of the situation. Deputy Ranking on Information and Communications Committee Charles Oredo addressed a news conference a while ago.
It is also demonstrated that the minister lacks the temperament and emotional intelligence for such a critical role. He has demonstrated this same trait on numerous public utterances, insults to citizens and industry players during the process. By adopting an arbitrary decision-making posture, the minister is also denying regulators, such as the NCA, the opportunity to perform their work according to law, which clearly threatens the growth of this sensitive industry. His actions also signal a breach of the president's code of conduct that requires candor and respect to all persons. Fellow Ghanaians, for this display of ineptitude, incompetence, and penchant for deceit, we of the minority demand that 1, the minister render an unqualified apology to Ghanaians for the waste of the nation's time and resources on this venture. 2, we call on him to account for the fines levied on DSTV. And 3, we deem him unfit to continue as the Minister for this strategic ministry of communication, digital technology and innovation, and therefore call on him to resign or for His Excellency the President to fire him.
Let's get more from my colleague Kenneth Jesse, who was at the presser by the minority in Parliament. Kenneth, tell me, what other issues is the minority raising? Kenneth, can you hear me?
Well, so when this impasse began, the communications... Yes, I can hear you. When this impasse began some months ago, the communication minister said that they're going to be paying fines of 10,000 Ghana cedis every day that they fail to reduce the prices. Well, the minority is also asking the communication minister to account for that particular fines that were imposed on DSTV. They say that they have not heard anything from the minister concerning those fines since he made these announcements. And of course, they are also calling for an apology from the minister, saying that he has insulted the intelligence of Ghanaians and also insulted the minority as well, and is not fit to be a minister of state. And they're saying that this is nothing new. This is a promotion that is ongoing in other African countries, and it's not peculiar to Ghana, and that this is a promotion that the minister is branding as a deal that he secured from multi-choice. And so this is not any groundbreaking thing that the minister wants us to understand. So these are the issues that the minority has been raising at this particular press conference that ended a while ago, MFR.
Think that the president relieves him of his duty, or he would rather step down?
Well, those are the two demands. They say that the president of the country, John Dramani Mahama, is a decent man, and that the minister for communications is portraying the opposite of that. They say he's unfit to be minister. They've even quoted the party's general secretary, the party's national chairman, that is Johnson Esiedun-Gettia. They claim that even Johnson Esiedun-Gettia has said that he does not, behave like a minister, and that he's not fit to be the minister in charge of the communication and digital innovation. So the ultimatums are two: either President John Dramani Mahama fires him, or either he also resigns on his own accord. Those are the demands, the major demands that the minority is demanding from the communications minister.
Right, thank you so much, Kenneth Jesse. Our DSTV subscribers remain quite unhappy with the recent package upgrades, which they feel doesn't address the core issue of affordability. Some say they are experiencing upgrades on their subscriptions, while others criticize the minister for the current approach.
Yesterday, I noticed my package has been upgraded from Compact to Compact Plus. I mean, prior to that, there was a message on the platform, so I viewed it and it's notified me that my current package, which is Compact, is being upgraded to Compact Plus.
Yesterday, I experienced that there are more channels on. Some channels have been added to it. So yeah, that's what I'm experiencing now.
Which package are you on?
I'm on Compact, but it seems I'm currently experiencing the Compact Plus package.
Yeah, but I'm not getting it. If the case is about price reduction, it should come as a price reduction, not national amount of value.
I think the minister should come clear. For me, I'm a DSTV subscriber, but for a while now, I've gone off because I feel that their prices are too much.
As far as the ministry happens to be the regulators, automatically they have to make sure that it's being brought down, because since other countries were also being brought down, probably it has to be brought down.
So you would prefer a price reduction?
Yes, a price reduction.
I mean, in the beginning, the minister was advocating for a reduction in the prices, but it turned out that now it is a package addition or value addition that he's talking about. So we don't seem to be able to merge the two.
Still on DSTV subscription, CEO of Consumer Protection Agency, Kofi Kapito, is blasting Communications Minister Sam George, calling for his resignation over DSTV Impasse. Kofi Kapito accuses Sam George of showboating and failing to deliver on promises to reduce DSTV prices, questioning why the minister didn't explore options like consumer boycotts to pressure multi-choice into meaningful price cuts.
And even with the data, if you can attest and be fair to Ghanaians, now that they've given you more, the data even doesn't even work as it's supposed to. It keeps rolling around, and rolling around. There are pressing issues at NCA, the telcos, and the ministry, not DSTV. Like I said, DSTV says that a multi-choice or their subscription is luxury. How many Ghanaians even, if you like, do a survey for me. Ask NCA, what is the number of DSTV subscribers in Ghana? We have over 5 to 10 million people who have issues with their telephone, communications, and data. NCA, and I do this because I know, NCA has what they used to determine what the telcos were doing well. which is called the QoS, quality of service. Since the minister came, has he even found out that the NC has even done that? That is a parameter that will tell you which telco is doing well and which telco is failing. He's been showboating, and that's the word I'm going. He's been showboating for the longest time, and he's been exposed. And we see what makes me angry is he's a typical person who can dish out the heat, but he cannot take the heat. If he can't take the heat, he should get the hell out of the kitchen. Mr. Sam George, honestly, it's only in Africa that we can joke about these things. These things in any other jurisdictions, his head will go. You know, he'll be made to resign. But Ghana, we can't do that. So he'll come back again, and he has audacity to be angry and insulting people. This is what even makes me sick. You've goofed. You haven't done anything that you promised Ghanaians you were going to do, ain't for nothing. Like I said, the song, you did your best, but your best is not good enough.
Illegal mining. This afternoon, the fight against illegal mining is hitting a new level as civil society organizations are preparing to meet President John Mahama to demand clear, actionable strategies to curb the menace. As part of efforts to tackle the environmental terrorism, over 50 CSOs will converge at Jubilee House for a high-level engagement on Galamsey, a crisis that has destroyed over 4,700 hectares of forest reserves and severely impacted the turbidity of major water bodies. Convener for the Coalition Against Illegal Mining Ghana, Dr. Engineer Kenneth Ashigbe, told PM Express with Evans Mensah that the coalition will not merely articulate problems, but will demand practical, actionable solutions.
We're not going into this meeting to go and articulate the problems. We know very clearly what the problems are, and we know His Excellency knows what the problems are. Like we said in our last press release that we gave, we are going to go into this meeting asking His Excellency the President what his definition of success is, what he would classify as having successfully executed this particular thing. And within that, we will be asking him what the milestones within that journey is going to be. We're going to be asking him what also the timelines, specific timelines, so far as resolving this problem is concerned. We are not fixated, about, we know that we need a state of emergency to be able to resolve the issues, some of the issues that are in there. But for us, it is about what his definition of what success is. What, again, would be that last resort for him. He needs to articulate that clearly for us to know what that resort would be for him to be able to introduce that. But we are going to be going in there to get solutions with timelines, milestones that have been put to it. And most importantly, what his definition of success is, so that we leave that meeting with that clear mindset that His Excellency has articulated what he's going to do. And as a people that the Constitution says that sovereignty relies, from people from which he took the mandate from, then we would be able to provide the monitoring and evaluation to find out actually that we're going to go there. So you will find out that when we get into that meeting, the coalition of coalitions to which we all belong to, we are going to be very, very clear and absolute in asking for solutions from His Excellency on what it is that is going to be done, which are specific. We're not going to be taking answers like what happened at the media engagement, when His Excellency is asked about what he's doing about the AG's call for Iyoko to do some work, and we're just giving some vague answers. No.
Our country director of Amnesty International, Genevieve Patterson, added that the human rights advocacy group aims to hold the government accountable to international treaties and domestic laws protecting the nation from human rights abuses caused by illegal miners.
You know, Ghana is very famous for signing on treaties and ratifying them. So looking at the human rights perspective, we've definitely signed on to the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. So we've been a party to that since 2000, for example. And that protects the right to health, food, livelihoods, and the environment. And our African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights is also quite lengthy when it talks about rights to healthy environment. So we don't shy away from treaties. We even have our own domestic laws that protect the environment and ensure that government needs to provide the right to health. I think one key issue Amnesty and, of course, I personally am concerned about is the child labor issue in illegal mining. That's a huge human rights issue. We look at pollution of our water bodies. And we also look at the, indirectly linked to criminal networks. I mean, it's the same way you have land guards. If people are mining illegally, definitely there's a form of arms trafficking going on as well. So there's that challenge for right to security. So, are people safe in their communities if this is the case?
Meanwhile, ahead of the dialogue, pressure is mounting on President Mahama to avert a potential shutdown of public universities as the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, gives him 2 weeks to respond to the union's proposed strategies for combating illegal mining. Vice President of UTAG, University of Education, Winneba, Dr. Bernard Tutu-Wine, spoke on PMS Press.
We were supposed to have taken a firm decision on it, but as it were, we were still waiting for the president's response to our letter, which, as at yesterday, had not come. And so we decided to give him some time. And we actually deferred our decision, to about 2 weeks' time, just to give the president some time as to whether he's going to respond or not. And so if he doesn't respond in about 2 weeks, we are going to convene an emergency meeting on it, and then probably deliberate on the next step that we are likely to take.
Just to refresh our memory, that letter you wrote to him, what was it about? What were you asking of him?
Yes, actually, prior to the election, we had involved all major political parties, as well as the minor ones, including independent candidates, to sign a pact, which they all did. And so we were believing that any of the candidates who wins will take those pragmatic actions and decisions to be able to, as it were, tackle the menace of galamsey in this country. So the letter was just a reminder to him that we had a part with him, and that we wanted him to take a second look at it, and then, as it were, take steps to implement, all agreements in the pact.
Meanwhile, Bole in the Savannah region, an illegal mining task force led by the DCE for Bole Abdullah Mahmoud has destroyed 33 pieces of equipment by illegal miners at Babato on the Black Volta Lake near Bamboy. The equipment that has been destroyed includes 4 champagne engines bent, 9 destroyed, and 20 washing plants destroyed. Let's go on phone. Let's consume and engage our reporter, Rebecca Natoma, for more. Rebecca, tell me, first of all, what's the extent of devastation in that area? Kindly unmute if you can hear me. Kindly unmute if you can hear me. Well, while we wait for my colleague to unmute so we can get the level of devastation, a yet-to-be-aired documentary by JoyNews titled Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey urges President Mahama to keep his promise to end illegal mining. Here are excerpts of that documentary.
Make us a forestry commission, almost 37 reserves have been destroyed. And the first thing is to get them out. Now, we will attach mining safety officers and graduates from the University of Mines and Technology to all small-scale mining companies to ensure that they do the mining in safety and according to the regulations.
They talk about repealing the LI. They talk about the state of emergency. They've been in office. And I'm just waiting for that 120 days to come to an end. Mr. President, you must live by your word. You cannot speak poetry in opposition and come and act prose when you are president.
Dear Mahama, honor the 8. Stop Galamsey.
And I'll take you back to my colleague on phone, Rebecca Nantoma, for more on that story about illegal mining in Boli. So tell me, Rebecca, what's the extent of devastation in that area? Did I lose Rebecca? I'll try again and reconnect with Rebecca again in the bulletin. But we're trying to understand how much devastation has been caused in Boli as well. And we understand that some fishermen as well have moved away from the black water. When we can, we'll get all of the answers to these questions for you. But away from that, about 20 constituency youth organizers of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region have asked for an end to internal bickering to build a united front. The group says the 2028 general election cannot be reached on weak leadership and disunity, stressing the need for a robust and cohesive party. Declaring their support for Dr. Brian Champion in the party's flag bearer race, the group asserts that the NPP needs a candidate with the temperament and qualities to mend the fixtures as well and disaffection within the party. Among the electorate, Nkansa Ababio is the leader of the youth organizers for Brian Champion.
For this questions, with our political destiny, Yala requires not merely a politician, but a statesman, not merely a participant, but a unifier. Not merely a dreamer, but a doer. That statesman, that unifier, that doer is none other than Honorable Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to have function. We all know the kind of circumstances, the disunity in our party. We need somebody who can unify the party. We need somebody who can lead us and bring back the unity that we deserve. The relative unity. Ladies and
We apologize for that audio in that footage, but we definitely will bring you how that panned out in the Ashanti region from our colleagues in the Ashanti region. But the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS, is set to introduce a new policy dubbed Youth on Social Media as students to regulate how second cycle students use digital media platforms. The move is aimed at curbing misconduct and promoting responsible online engagement. According to CHAS, the rising cases of misconduct and abuse of social media are worrying, prompting heads of the various institutions to roll out this initiative. There's more in this report.
CHAS announced the Youth on Social Media as Students Initiative at the opening session of the 28th Annual Ashanti Regional SRC Congress, hosted at the Fuakobiampim Girls Senior High School. CHAS representative and headmaster of Kumasi High School, Benjamin Teriachum, highlighted recent disturbing developments involving students. This includes a viral video involving an assistant headmaster of KNUST SHS and a female student, which has reignited conversations on students-teacher boundaries and the dangers of unregulated social media use. According to Mr. Chum, Charles views this growing influence on social media on students as both an opportunity and a risk.
Charles, as a body, is not happy when students troop to the social media with shameful sketches. We are coming up with new policy on the use of social media by students. That is when you are coming from this academic year, engaging the social media negatively, you will be dealt with as such. So as we are going, let your students know that we are not happy with the way you are using the social media.
According to the headmaster, the upcoming Youth on Social Media as Students policy seeks to instill discipline, guide online behavior, and equip students with the tools to navigate the digital space responsibly.
As student leaders, you hold a unique responsibility to stand for what is right, inspire your colleagues, students, and have school authorities curb the bad practices going on in our schools. Remember that your academic pursuits and your private purpose as students, not reneging on the talent that your Creator has imbibed in you. We as a body, Charles, is committed to improving the school environment from ensuring proper infrastructure to providing resources that enhances your learning experience. But all these will require your cooperation as students.
The Ashanti Regional SRC Congress is under the theme, The Vital Voice, empowering the second cycle students to advocate for progress and build a better tomorrow to transform their communities. The week-long event has brought together student leaders from all secondary schools in the Ashanti region to elect new executives and deliberate on pressing issues affecting education in the region. The regional SRC president, James Echampong, encouraged students to be vocal in the academic journey to contribute to nation building.
It is a critical phase of our life where we refine our skills, broaden our perspectives, and solidify our purpose. We are at a crossroad where our education meets action, and your voice becomes the most powerful tool for change. This Congress is designed to equip students with knowledge to advocate for what they believe in, challenge the status quo, question the norms, and innovate solutions. From today, put in mind that every decision you make, every action you take, and every voice you raise contributes to the building of a better Ghana.
For JoyNews, Nana Boachidankwe Kumase.
For the secondary school level, because a matron at the Kwasa Senior High Technical School has justified her decision to keep dozens of bags of rice, beans, gari, maize, and other food items meant to feed students in unused toilet cubicles. Officials of the Nkwanta North District of the Ghana Education Service in the OT region say they discovered the phenomenon 2 weeks ago during a monitoring round at the school, raising concerns over breaches in both administrative and health protocols at the school. The directorate had since concluded an official investigations into circumstances resulting in the menace and have published a report on the matter. And my colleague James Aveji joins me with details. James, let's start really. What's the background to the findings of the committee?
So from the report that we have cited, this report was dated the 16th of September 2025. It says that the team from the District Education Directorate indicated that they actually chanced upon these items, which included some 14.5 bags of rice, 50 kg rice, some 50 kg bags of beans, maize, gari, and other items to gallons of oil, cooking oil, and tin, tomatoes, and fish locked up in the kitchen's toilet cubicle. Now, upon interrogation from the matron, one Madam Atia patient, she admitted that she kept the items there on the blind side of the head teacher as well as the storekeeper of the school. Her justification is that she wanted to use that as share that to national service personnel who are serving in the school as a form of motivation, because for the time that they have been serving in the school, they have since not received their NSS allowances. The report says her actions were not only an administrative breach, but also a breach on the health and safety protocol of the school.
Interesting, James. And did the report provide any recommendations?
It actually gave 5 key recommendations, including a policy reinforcement on item issuance from the store and storage protocols of the school. It says there must be awareness and training for the staff, regulate audits and inspections, clear motivational guidelines, as well as sanitation and health compliance. The report, however, was silent on any punitive measures for the breach in the administrative and health protocols that the committee themselves had established as part of the investigation.
Neither did they talk about the NSS staff who are unpaid as well.
Exactly. It was totally silent on that as well.
Anything about food hoarding as well?
Well, we reached out to the OT Regional Health, Education Directorate for some response on this. And what they've been telling us is that they are still assessing the outcome of this investigation 2 weeks on, and they will respond to the public concerns as and when they are done with assessment of this particular investigation.
Thank you so much, James. You're amazing for bringing us that details in that report. Now, away from that, the Data Protection Commission is warning that its mandate risks being reduced to little more than an advisory role if urgent reforms are not carried out. Speaking during a working visit by Parliament's Select Committee on Information and Technology, Acting Director General Dr. Arnold Kavarapu stressed the vital role of the Commission in safeguarding personal information from health data and financial records to phone numbers and online activities in being hindered by a lack of a strong regional oversight and an inadequate staff strength. He cautions that unless urgent interventions are made, citizens may be exposed to identity theft, fraud, and the misuse of their private data.
Country, we don't have the required manpower base to provide compliance within institutions. So even when institutions certify or come and register with us, there's still a requirement for that entity to make sure that within their setup, that the right processes are in place. They have data protection policies there, and that the policy it's adhered to. It's not something that a commission can do on a day-to-day basis, and so building the manpower base to be able to achieve this is critical. So within that program, in fact, Data Protection Commission was the entity that had the most training. So we don't have enough trained officers in data protection. And then I think at a more personal level is also ourselves, whether we have the right resources, we have the right, we have the full, we're operating at full capacity to be able to carry out those objectives. And so these are some of the high level, maybe strategic imperatives that we think that if we look at it would help.
Now, Dr. Arnold Kavarapu is also calling for the urgent establishment of comprehensive data standards framework aimed at ensuring the credibility and integrity of data generated across the country.
That's what everybody is going to feed off, both public and private digital infrastructure. Primarily will feed off what are the data specifications across the different data containers within the country, so that when you are consuming data from Ghana, you know exactly what the data standards, what the data requirements are. And lastly, it's the area of sectoral emerging tech rules. The regulation that you require
for maybe health data processing might not be exactly the same in terms of telco processing. And so we want to make sure that at least we're able to speak to the unique needs of each of the environments without burdening it with very strong regulation.
Now, the Ablekuma North Municipal Assembly has finally cleared an 18-year-old refuse heap at the Mallam market. A pile traders and shoppers say has become a serious health hazard for them, with traders occupying pavements and parts of the road. Municipal Chief Executive Adamu Musa Kalamu, speaking during the exercise, says the Assembly will no longer tolerate illegal dumping, warning that offenders will be prosecuted at the Sanitation Court and fined. There's more in this report.
After nearly 2 decades, the Ablekuma North Municipal Assembly has finally cleared an 18-year-old refuse heap at the Mallam market. A tiring pile traders and shoppers say had become a dangerous health hazard, with traders spilling onto pavement and the road. Municipal Chief Executive Officer Adamu Musa says the cleared site will now be rehabilitated for traders to occupy. But he warned that the Assembly will no longer tolerate illegal dumping.
Having evacuated this refuse, we are now giving them 3 skip containers in the market, and we expect them at all times they should make sure they dump their refuse in the skip containers. And we've sent a strong warning to them. If we should come to the market and we should see any nuisance, that's heaps of rubbish anywhere, anybody involved will be prosecuted. That's one we will not let anybody plead on anybody's behalf. That is the assurance we are giving.
Environmental Officer Ruby Baneni and musician Akosia Ejapon, who championed the cleanup exercise, also shared their views with our news team.
Once we started collecting, you can see cockroaches and rats coming out, which is a public health problem. Should they enter into the shop? We are sure they are already even in some of the shops. And then we have diseases that these ones spread, cockroaches. We have dysenteries that is spread. They contribute to a whole lot, because whatever they carry, when they send it to their food, we are likely to get cholera, typhoid, and a whole lot.
Why do you have to wait and come and throw baller somewhere so you ask to pay money? Secondly, to know that not just paying money, you also go to the hospital because a child will get sick.
The Assembly insists the exercise is part of a tougher sanitation enforcement drive aimed at keeping Mallam market clean, safe, and accessible for both traders and shoppers.
You're watching News Today. Please stay. There's more.
Welcome back to Business here on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki, and our first business story. Starting Friday, October 3rd, 2025, cocoa farmers will receive an additional 400 cedis per bag when selling their cocoa to the Ghana Cocoa Board. This price adjustment follows a positive market forecast by stakeholders indicating improved market conditions. At an emergency press conference in Accra, Finance Minister Kesela Tufortin announced that this increase is a revision of the previously announced price, reflecting the favorable market dynamics that has come to exist.
We have subsequently conveyed that meeting, and we are pleased to announce a new producer price to take effect from tomorrow, Friday, the 3rd October 2025. It is my singular honor to announce that on the basis of the changes that we have affected to the forecast, the government has taken a decision to increase the producer price of cocoa to 3,625 Ghana cedis per bag, or 58,000 Ghana cedis per ton. This simply means that per every bag purchase, the cocoa farmer is getting 400 Ghana cedis additional. Simply put, to the ordinary cocoa farmer, since my last engagement on the 4th of August to today, every bag you will purchase, you will sell to Cocoa Board, you will be getting another 400 Ghana cedis, or 4 million Ghana cedis, old Ghana cedis. 4 million old Ghana cedis. we also want to bring to your knowledge that Ghana Cocoa Board will continue to implement all the interventions to support the cocoa production and the welfare of the cocoa farmer.
Away from that, the countdown is on. We are days, weeks from Ghana's biggest housing and property event, the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair 2025, from October 23rd to 26th. The Accra International Conference Center will be the place to be for anyone dreaming of owning a home or upgrading one. And this year, top security solutions provider Superlock Technologies will be there, showcasing cutting-edge door and locking systems that combine style with safety. Jacob Kwashi represents Superlock Technologies in Ghana and tells us what makes their security doors the best.
Superlock Technology, we deal in security doors, we deal in balustrade, we deal in internal doors, we do kitchens, we do wardrobes, anything that has to do with a household. So we are there. Currently, we are running a promo on our kitchens and then our balustrade. You get 20% on all the kitchens you buy from us. You get 20% on all the wardrobes you do from us. And then as well as you get 15% on all the doors you buy from us. One special thing about Superlock is that when you buy, we do the installation, we do after sales service. We also give you 5 years warranty on all our security doors. And our security doors are non-broken security doors.
Something like this
that
I see. Yes. I mean, it's very, very attractive.
Very, very heavy, very, very heavy. Made from Israel. This is an Israeli made, Israeli made. Has 8 to 10 multi-locking system. Nobody is able to break through Superlock security doors. That's why we are the best so far. Very, very nice and classy. This one is just perfect for your home. Like, it's perfect for your homes. Yeah. So when you have Superlock, you have the best. That's why Superlock, you deserve the best. Yes. Yes, these ones too are for, let's say, back doors, like back security doors. It can also go to your front doors, but mostly people prefer this for your back doors because people, if they target your front door and they don't get you, they go to the back. So Superlock, we secure the front and we secure back. That's why Superlock got you. Yeah.
Be there and certainly enjoy good, amazing promotional discount at the EcoBank JoyNews Habitat Fair happening here in Accra. That's all for business. Up next is sport.
Welcome to the sports segment with me, Benaya Elom Dapamako. Box Office Promotions CEO Alex Ntiamwa has warned the National Sports Authority and the Ministry of Youth and Sports that stakeholders may take legal action if Congress is not allowed to endorse the newly appointed Ghana Boxing Interim Management Committee.
We know in Ghana we have various sports associations, and the Ghana Boxing Authority is mandated by its constitution to oversee the administration of professional boxing in Ghana. Yes, the National Sports Authority has oversight responsibility for all sports in Ghana. And the government of Ghana has the responsibility of making sure its citizens are safe. So whatever the issue may be, we believe there should be a dialogue between the National Sports Authority and the Ghana Boxing Authority so that they can come out with something that the Ghana Boxing Authority, who should be the body to announce if there should be any emergency window.
So you felt what was done was unconstitutional?
Yes, it was unconstitutional because the National Sports Authority has no power to dissolve the GBA board.
That has been done.
Is it?
That has been done.
Yes, but you know, we, like you saw our statement and our position, we are not happy about it, and we went to the ministry for an emergency meeting to discuss about this thing for the IMC to be, not to be inaugurated, but to have some conversation behind the scenes before we can move forward. But they went ahead. And anything that is done contrary to the GBA constitution is an infringement of the constitution and it's null and void. So I can tell you that the IMC taking over the mandate of running professional boxing in Ghana is inconsistent with the GBA constitution.
So you will go to court again?
Maybe, if the authority will not listen to us.
And on a very sad note, former Great Olympics coach Arnold Walker has died at his residence in Accra at the age of 65.
He had been battling an undisclosed illness before passing. At the time of his death, Arnold Walker was serving as the technical director and advisor of Vision FC in the Ghana Premier League. His coaching career spanned several clubs, including Great Olympics, Nania FC, Pando Hearts of Lions, Bekum Chelsea, and FC Samatex. With Nania FC, he guided the team to their historic 2011 MTN FA Cup win over Asante Kotoko. Arnold Walker managed the Black Galaxies, also leading them to the 2023 African Nations Championships in Algeria. And that's all with me, Benaya Elom Dapamapo. For more stories, you can log on to majoonline.com. Up next is Showbiz.
It's time now for Showbiz. I am Shola Adeyemi. Let's dive into the biggest stories happening in the world. Let's get into it. Now, this one says that before YouTube, Netflix, and endless social media streams, Ghanaian families found their joy and connection in television shows that defined the 1990s and the early 2000s. Today on Throwback Thursday, we take you down memory lane with some of the most unforgettable programs that kept households glued to the screens week after week. Now, these weren't just shows, they were cultural moments that shaped conversations, sparked laughter, taught lessons, and legit legacies that continue to inspire Ghana's TV industries today.
Ghana's television space in the 90s and early 2000s was filled with creativity, cultural depth, and unforgettable characters. At a time when TV was the main source of family entertainment, these shows gave viewers comedy, drama, and education all in one, and their impact is still felt today. Taxi Driver. This comedy series starred the unforgettable Sam Adjetifu as Titi and gave audiences hilarious glimpses into everyday life through the eyes of a taxi driver.
Madam, where you go?
Didn't you hear me the first time?
Why you Ghanaians at all always like answer question plus another question?
By the Fireside was hosted by the legendary Grace Omabo, affectionately known as Mame Dokuno. It brought Ghanaian folklore to life, teaching morals and values through storytelling.
Now, what do you want me to do? You can swallow me insect. Come and swallow me. I'm also an insect.
The early 2000s also brought us Home Sweet Home, a family sitcom that became a cultural phenomenon. Led by Kojo Datsun as the lovable but strict father, the series explored everyday Ghanaian family life with humor, warmth, and relatable lessons. Concert Party was the ultimate weekend comedy stage. With acts like Bob Santo, Incomode, and Ejako, it brought laughter and music to living rooms across the nation.
Foolish man was born before the sensible boy.
That's right, that's right.
Things We Do for Love is a youth-centered drama. It addressed relationships, peer pressure, and life lessons while launching the careers of stars like Majid Michelle and Jackie Appiah.
Every time I see driving around, you have a different chick in your car. She's either white or black.
I know, that's true, that's true. But look, it just so happens that all the girls I meet are bad news.
These shows may belong to the past, but their impact still lingers. They paved the way for modern Ghanaian television and remain fondly remembered as cultural treasures.
Well, moving away from that, Afrobeat is on the world stage and Rema is leading the charge. The Nigerian hitmaker has just been named to the 2025 Time 100 Next list, joining the ranks of the world's most influential young leaders and innovators. And in this year's edition, he shines as the only African artist to earn the coveted recognition.
Describes Rema as one of the future leaders redefining culture worldwide. His inclusion highlights the global reach of Afrobeats and its growing influence. The 24-year-old shot to international fame with hits like Do Maybe and Countdown, the latter crossing over 1 billion streams twice. A record-breaking feat for an African artist. His second album, He Is, released in 2024, earned him a Grammy nomination, cementing his place on the world stage.
Well, and that's all for Showbiz. I am Lois Shola. For more Showbiz stories, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Over to you, MFI. Do you have a favorite Rema song?
Yeah, the other one was a girl. Exactly, that's what I like. You guys shouldn't see what Shola does behind the cameras. But thank you so much for joining us in the news today. I am MFA Akosiaditi. There's more news if you do log on to myjoyonline.com. Shola, let's go have some lunch.
Let's go.